Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Aussie band The Expression and through their song Total Eclipse, which really talked about total eclipse of the heart. If you're in a really, really dark place right now, look for the light, even if it's just a slither, because you're going to need it. So trust you found that one an encouragement. Well, we're going from there to an absolute legend of the music industry today. In fact, this guy recently died on the 20th of January 2022. And now I didn't want to get out the video out straight away because this guy is a music legend. And legends, by their very nature, tend to stay in our psyche for quite a while. And so we didn't need to be so quick. And we also get a chance to reflect and to resonate and think a little bit more about what made this guy so significant. The story started on the 27th of September 1947 in Texas. Michael Lee Day was born. And certainly, his voice and the amazing voice this guy's actually got really came to the fore very, very soon in his life, 20 years after his birth. And he started getting involved certainly on stage shows like the Rocky Horror Picture Show and other shows like Hair. And it was in 1972, there was not ill-fated, but probably a destined meeting with Jim Steinman. Now, when I mention the word Jim Steinman, you know the guy I'm talking about. We're talking about Meat Loaf today. And certainly over the next 5 years, they got to know each other. Jim Steinman being the incredible songwriter that he is, writing for other people such as Celine Dion and Bonnie Tyler. Total Eclipse of the Heart being one of the songs that he wrote. Holding Out for a Hero, another one. Celine Dion, another one that he's written for. He recently left us as well, and the world paused on that day as well. And so over the next 5 years, and of course, Meat Loaf, he's got such a good voice, this guy. I mean, God, it did not get much better than this. When he was in his heyday, his voice was incredible. And to be able to sing the songs of the album, which we're going to get onto in a minute, you've got to be absolutely 300% good to be able to deliver these songs. Jim Steinman doesn't write easy songs to sing. He really challenges his vocalists, and Meat Loaf was just a perfect artist to deliver this album. And which album we're talking about? Well, before we get onto the album, between 1977 and 2016, Meat Loaf actually released 12 albums. I'm sure there's also some singles and all sorts of bits and pieces in there. And he also appeared in many TV appearances and movies because Meat Loaf had this pretty amazing persona about him, and he just got audiences believing everything that he did. His sincerity, his stage persona, what can we say, Meat Loaf was Meat Loaf. Never will be anyone quite like this guy again. And of course, so when we talk about Meat Loaf, what's the album we need to talk about? I can hear you yelling at me from the other side of the screen. Bat Out of Hell. And of course, Bat Out of Hell was the first of a trilogy of albums that came out over a lengthy period of time. But Bat Out of Hell is an absolutely massively, hugely significant album, this one. This album is estimated to have sold 43 million copies, making it one of the highest of all time. In fact, it's estimated that around 200,000 units a year are still sold of this album even now. And I'm sure with the death of Meat Loaf, people will be thinking, oh, did I have that album? Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to get it just to have it in my CD collection. And many of the other CDs that Meat Loaf brought out. Of course, it wasn't a CD back then. It was actually a record. Now, of course, the album cover, very significant. It's a guy, devilish-looking guy on a motorbike, and I'm assuming he's coming out of hell. And so, very iconic album cover as well. And so, pretty well everybody knows this album. In fact, this album stayed on the charts for 9 years. So there we go. Very significant indeed. Everybody would know the songs on Bat Out of Hell. First of all, we start out with the song Bat Out of Hell. I reckon very much bringing the album cover into musical form. Now we've got Meat Loaf absolutely pumping out incredibly demanding song here. The lyrics, the power, just the full grunt of this song is absolutely full on and just a fantastic song to start the album off with. Of course, in the middle we've got Todd Rundgren doing his incredible guitar, motorbike guitar kind of thing. Sounds so much like a motorbike. When you put distortion and everything else in there, sounds absolutely amazing. The bat is coming out of hell. That is for sure. And then other incredible musicians, we got some incredible piano players, drums, backup vocals, the whole thing. So when they did this album, they put absolutely everything into the production. They wanted to create a work of art here, and they well and truly did that. So after Bat Out of Hell, we come to the song that I first heard Meat Loaf with. I didn't even know Bat Out of Hell wasn't even an album until obviously this came out in 1977. I was only 12 years old, so give me a break. Would you give your throat to the wolf with the red roses? I mean, who writes lyrics like that? Yes. Will you love him? Yes. I bet you say that to all the boys. You took the words right out of my mouth. It must have been when you were kissing me. Now, these lyrics, everybody knows these lyrics. And of course, that was not quite as rocky as Bat Out of Hell, but still pretty up there. And, we get to see how incredible the backup vocalists were in this particular song. And for the whole of the particular album, really. The backup vocalists really are quite amazing. And we'll get onto one of those insignificant ones in a minute. We then had the tender Heaven Can Wait. And after we had the two really heavy, like rocky songs, we sort of went a little bit more quiet and reflective. Very much a bit of a testament to life and what Jim Steinman felt about life at that point. But, we needed to get back to something a little bit more rocky than that. So we went all revved up and no place to go. This shows Meat Loaf's vocals off absolutely incredible because this song is so fast, it's so quick. The breath control required for the song, the power required for this song is absolutely amazing. But it's all revved up with no place to go. So what a frustrating thing. And I want to be able to do something, and I'm not quite sure what it is. And so, I'm all revved up and no place to go. We then dropped it back to 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And it's an incredible story. This one, again, requires a lot of tenderness and all the rest of it. This just starts a story of the guy in the song telling the girl, look, I want you, I need you, but there's no way I'm ever going to love you. But don't feel bad, which 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Not very nice for the girl that's actually probably hearing this because she just probably come right out of left field. But it goes on to talk about the fact that, he himself enjoyed a breakup and, he has never really got over it. But, it's just one of those things. And so, we've got a very tender storytelling song in 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We then get on to pretty well the song that this album is remembered for. A massive story in itself, a song that goes on for a long, long time, but it doesn't matter because you know what? It's Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And we need to pay tribute to Ellen Foley here, who is the girl character in this particular song, and how she pretty much carries the song along with Meat Loaf. Now, everybody knows this story, 2 teenage kids down by the lake really, really going for it and really, really getting into it. And, when they're really, really getting into it, they go into the whole commentator thing, and what an incredible idea to build up the anticipation and expectation. And they're just about to get there, and you're really getting following them through that. And all of a sudden, stop right there. I want to know right now, do you love me? Do you need me? Will you take me away and make me your wife? The declaration. So she just breaks herself away from the moment and says, hang on a minute. If we're going to go any further here, boy, do you love me? And I could just imagine the first time someone heard this song thinking, What? So anyway, the guy in his typical sort of I want you now and I don't care about the future says, I'm going to give you my answer in the morning. Well, that's not good enough for Ellen. She says, no, I need to know right now. And they go two and forth, they end up doing the same thing together. And then he declares, oh, for heaven's sake, I'm going to love you to the end of time. And then now I'm praying for the end of time. So the beautiful twist in the end of that song. I think the thing I love about the song, there's actually some ethics and character development in there, and a bit of okay, let's really make this story really, really unpredictable. So Paradise by the Dashboard Light is an absolute classic. Everybody knows the words, and everybody's waiting out for that "don't stop right there" bit that the girl tells out. Good on the girl, I reckon, for doing what she did in this story. So that's a bit of an epic rock opera in itself right there. It goes on for quite a while. And then we end up with a beautifully tender For Crying Out Loud. This is For Crying Out Loud, I Really Love You. It talks about having children and spending life together. Such a beautiful way to end this song off and album off in lots of ways. A beautiful way just to capitalise the emotional roller coaster that Bat Out of Hell actually is, and to really, again, just leave the audience thinking how amazing Meat Loaf's voice actually is. To be able to deliver all of that is an amazing feat, and it's certainly deserved the accolades it has received. And Meat Loaf did have quite a career over quite a few years. If we're thinking 77 to 2016, that's what, 23 plus 16, that's 39 years, so nearly 40 years of career. It's pretty good. The world will always remember this guy's amazing voice. We'll always remember his passion and his tenderness, but his downright power as well. There would be never anyone quite like Meat Loaf. I'm going to dare to say that this guy is in the distinctive category. No one comes even close to these guys' vocals. And when you put in the power of the Jim Steinman's songwriting and this incredible band, we had an absolutely classic album that will always be with us, I'm thinking. So we're not going to get much into philosophy today because the album speaks for itself. If you don't have this album, get it. Just get it. You say, well, I was only born in the 2000s. Doesn't matter. Get it. Because these songs are absolutely live and they're produced absolutely brilliantly well. And we've got a songwriter at the top of his game right here. Get the album. Trust me. Well, let's get on to the clips. So we've got three live clips today from the Bat Out of Hell album. I thought, given Bat Out of Hell, we've got to have that one. So, here we get to see Meat Loaf in his younger days and really in the zone right here. This album got toured extensively, and, of course, Ellen was always there as well. And we just get to see how amazing this band is. It doesn't get much better than these guys, 1970s geniuses right here. So we got Bat Out of Hell. And of course, we've got to have Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Now, this is the song that I'll name this video with as well because it's so well known. But, we're talking about Meat Loaf in general today. So we've got a live version of Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and you get the whole persona thing. And you get just how well these two actually played out, these two characters, and the way that, they really just brought the audience along for the ride. And don't forget the band behind them because they're doing incredibly well. We got that one. And I found, because for me, one of the most poignant songs on this album is For Crying Out Loud. And I just did a bit of a Google search, and I found Meat Loaf a little bit later here. And doing this one with an orchestra, I think that always adds a bit to it as well, because, there's a lot of sound on Bat Out of Hell. And Meat Loaf just introduces that. Let's start saying, I have not done this song since 1977. And so it's a bit of a unique experience to actually hear him sing this song live. And in typical Meat Loaf fashion, he doesn't care. He says, look, I'm going to give it my best shot. And he absolutely does that. A very, very difficult song to sing. And the softness at the start, every breath, every syllable, you just hang on every single word that he sings. And so we've got a stunning version of For Crying Out Loud, together with backup vocals and the whole thing. So the links to those 3 live songs are in the description below. Please reminisce. If you were around when this album came out, you'll remember it. For those of us who weren't, I mean, I was, but I was only 12 at the time. Just look at some absolute music legendary status right here. Now, before I leave, I just need to mention actually that Meat Loaf did receive a Grammy for a later album, I'll Do Anything for Love, but I won't do that. So he won a Grammy Award for that, which is pretty cool to see some significance for that particular live vocal as well. Well, and by the way, I've also included my last video on the expression, so if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if you've come back for another one as we've considered this absolute legend of the music industry and this legendary album today, thank you for coming back. This is your first time, the Life Reflections from Music. Welcome to the channel. And if you look back at my playlist, you'll see that we do anything and everything in this channel. So that's it for today. Next time, we're going to go on to pop princess Ariana Grande. And certainly what she did around the Manchester disaster time. She deserves a bit of a go just for that. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.